Welcome to Indian Union News. We have a very special guest today visiting from India, Vikas Jhajharia. He is an expert on Vastu and third generation. His grandfather got interested in this art, then his father took over, and now he is leading this. He has clients all over India and in the United States and other places of the world. On a frank note, I have never believed in Vastu. So for me, it is going to be a learning experience. I might be asking him some hard questions about it and how a location of certain things can give positive outcome. And then we will see what he says and is Vastu real. On that note, Vikas, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you very much for coming for one day to Boston here.
Thank you so much.
So, as I said in my introduction, that the only thing I remember about Vastu growing up in a small village in India was that in my village, not a single house was facing south.
Beautiful.
Out of 100 homes, every house was facing north, east, or west.
Right.
That's the only one thing I knew. And the second thing was that if anybody died, the body was taken out of the home. The body was put, facing south.
The head in the north.
The head in the north, and
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. So, but people have been talking about Vastu.
Right.
I have always been skeptical.
Right.
So your job today is to convince me to start believing in Vastu, and let's see how do you do that.
So, my first question to you is as you said, that you were living in this house which was facing northeast and west, south, northeast and west, but not south. So when you entered your house, what did you see inside your house?
I entered the house facing north.
Yeah.
When I enter the house, I'm facing south.
Right.
There's a big door there.
Yeah.
Then I go in the lawn, like a room.
Right.
Then I walk inside.
Yeah.
There is a veranda there.
Correct.
And there is a square veranda.
Which is like a courtyard.
And then in the center is a courtyard.
Yeah.
And in the center there is a tulsi plant.
Correct.
And almost all the houses in my village were exactly just like that.
So not only in your village, I would say, but all across the country. Whether you go to Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Punjab or Himachal Pradesh, every single house more than 200 years ago was built according to Vastu. Every single house had this courtyard system in the house.
So now my question is,
yes.
Tell me, what is Vastu?
So Vastu is nothing but a protection against unforeseen circumstances. If, for example, we go in the cars, we wear seat belts, right? Why do we wear seat belts? So that even if we meet with an accident, we get out with a scratch. We don't harm ourselves. So that exactly is Vastu. How to accumulate positive energies, when we talk about layman language, we say positive energies. Otherwise, these are nothing but solar energies, magnetic energies, and oxygen. How to accumulate these maximum in our surroundings so that we can enjoy these energies and we can make the most out of it. So when we're talking about houses, every single house initially 200 years ago was built according to Vastu principles. That is why big joint families used to live happily in those houses together. People used to have many kids and, have a good time. But then due to space constraints, families becoming nuclear, we started forgetting about Vastu. We started moving to smaller apartments, smaller houses. People started drifting apart and, things started, all of these issues like divorces, like cancer, like AIDS, all of these started cropping up due to, problems in our lifestyles. So then people realized that something is amiss and they went back to Vastu. So we brought that energies back, how to maximize magnetic energy, which comes from North Pole to South Pole, and solar energy, which flows from east to west into our houses and to have a happy and a peaceful life. That is Vastu all about.
So in nutshell, the Vastu has to do something with energy.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now tell us about how the flow of energy really works in the context of a house.
Okay. Let's talk about east first. We all know that what happens in the east. the sun rises in the
Sure.
east, right?
Mhm.
We always say early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Mhm.
We always say when we get up, we should get up early in the mornings. We should do our prayers early in the mornings. We should do our exercises early in the mornings. We teach our kids to study early in the mornings. We talk about, like, when we get up in the mornings, we say, open the curtains, let the fresh air come in, or the fresh energies coming inside the house. When it is getting dark, which is, towards the west where the sun is setting, we always say, close the curtains. It is getting dark, the neighbors might peep in, or for that matters, when it is in India, the insects might come in, So we always try to close the west and we open the east so that we can maximize the solar energy coming into our life. It is, we always also tell people we should give water to the rising sun. We should worship the rising sun. We never talk about worshipping the setting sun. We always enjoy the beauty of setting sun. Okay, I'm going to a sea beach to see how the sun sets. But we never talk about giving water or, worshipping the setting sun. So when we talk about rising sun, from east, we get maximum positive energy or maximum solar energy. But now, since the earth is rotating and revolving around the sun, we get 24/7 the solar energy coming in from the east. Like a glass of water. We have a top and we have a bottom, right? We pour in water, the things start coming in, accumulating, over there, and it keeps on overflowing. But if we have a hole at the bottom, the water will flow away, right? So similarly, if our east is open, we are getting this maximum solar energy inside our house. But sorry.
No, so my question to you now is,
Yes.
Okay, fine, I understand. And if that's correct,
Yes.
then I have another question for you related with that is that, okay, my house is in a perfect order, perfect facing east, and
Correct.
everything's aligned.
Absolutely.
Right? So now how does it really help the person who lives in the house? What are some of the benefits if your house is properly aligned with energy?
If your house is properly aligned,
Yeah.
most important is your decision-making capabilities become really strong. Everything is decision-making capabilities. One right decision can lead us anywhere, and one wrong decision can also lead us anywhere. So it is very important that if we get the right energies, we inhale their energies. So all our openings of our body where we inhale things is in one direction. Our eyes, nose, mouth, ear, everything we receiving energy is in one direction. So when we take this energy into our body through our windpipe, it goes to our heart. Through the heart, with the blood circulation, it pumps it back to our brain. And that helps our brain to function in a better way. When we're doing better decisions, our health becomes better, our mental status becomes better, our wealth becomes better, our relationship becomes better, and even the children's studies concentration levels become better. If you're actually following the right things, even if the children studies for 10 minutes, his grasping power will be 100 times. If it is he's sitting in the wrong direction and he's not able to concentrate, even if he's studying for 1 hour, he'll hardly be able to grasp.
So now all the clients you have worked with and your father and grandfather, is there any way to quantify? So for skeptics like me, I will need some sort of quantification or proof that, okay, I agree with you, what you are saying, it may be true. But is there any way to prove that these things really happen? Or do you have a proof to say that?
So proof comes with the status, that is, we've tried everything onto ourselves first, My grandfather tried in his business. First, we are businessmen as well. We were facing issues. So grandfather tried it. We got results. As in, we started accumulating money. Then my father got into it when he was facing issues with his career. We got into our Guruji and he gave us these shunks which we use. So we use it and things started moving, as in his mindset become clear, what he wants to do in life. Similarly, for myself, I was living in Australia for a long time. I came back to India when I was getting married. And, me and my wife were trying to settle down. She was from Delhi. I was from Australia. We were both trying to live in Kanpur. We were facing issues. Then that time, my father introduced me to Vastu. My mindset started changing. I started traveling with him I traveled with him for a couple of years across the globe and saw what kind of results people are getting. Now, quantification only comes by results.
Mhm.
So we've seen people going from rags to riches if they are following proper Vastu, and from riches to rags if they are not following proper Vastu. Or, if they have, so when I was getting married, I saw a lot of my friends were getting divorces that time. So we started using east shunks, the energies which we use on the east of a particular, husband-wife's rooms. And since things started moving for them, the people who didn't use them, they all went through divorces, or they had health issues like, major issues like cancer. That's what I'm working on as well. West, we get, negative solar energy. So if West is open of a bedroom of a particular person, we tend to getting, if 100% of cases I've seen till date, when a person is having cancer, my first question when a person calls me, listen, my husband is suffering from cancer. My first question is, do you have a window in the west of your bedroom? And the 100% answer is yes. So this is actually tried and tested with so many people. I've seen that it has really increased my beliefs and, things that if we have West, if we keep the West closed at least, we will have less chances of having serious health issues. If we keep our East open, if we get a maximum positive energy, we will have less chances of having any kind of health issues.
So now my question to you is that, somebody told me that, look, you are an expert artist and you can help anybody who needs some help. And I bring you on board and ask you that, I need some help. Things are not working okay in my family, in my house, with kids, with the spouse and all this stuff.
Right.
So how do you start that process? How will you come to my house or anywhere, and how will you start your process?
So it's a very simple process.
Mm-hmm.
If a person asks me, I will, obviously we will take an appointment, given some time, and I come and have a look at the house. I just check the directions.
Mm-hmm.
What direction is what place, and every single direction is different.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about, let me explain a little bit about how the directions work. So we are sitting in North America, or we sitting in say US. So that is in the northern hemisphere. That means we're in the northern part, right?
Yes.
Similarly, keeping things the same, say we are in California. That means we are in kind of the south or the southeast of US.
Mm-hmm.
That means at the same situation, we are in the southeast,
right?
Southwest.
Yeah.
We're in the southwest corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're in the southwest area.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come to California. We have this thing.
California is southwest. This is the northeast.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, at the same time, you were in the north when you were in Northern America, but you were in the southwest where you're in California. Then you come to, say, San Francisco, which is again north of California. So at the same time, you're in the north direction. Then you come to maybe Fremont in SFO, which is again, I'm not sure about what direction, but maybe say west direction. So every time you are creating boundaries, you're changing your location. Sitting at one place only, you're in different directions. You come to your own house, you have an entry gate, you have an exit gate, you have a backyard and things like that. So you have a north, east, west, south in your own house. But then you come to a particular room, you have your north, east, west, south again. How it varies is by the magnetic energy.
Okay, but here's one before you go.
Yeah.
I have one. So now you come to my house and
Yes.
you say, all the directions are really crazy, and there is no other way except you demolish the house and rebuild a new house.
Yes.
So in that context, how your Vastu works?
Okay, so that is our specialty across the globe, and that is why we travel into more than 125 countries across the globe. We don't advise any kind of demolition or changes whatsoever, except just moving the mirrors or something like here and there, just something which you can do easily. So as I was explaining, every room, everything has got its north, east, west, south. How we sort it is, we use our devices which have been given to us by Guruji Swami Murugananji, called the Vastu Shankha. If a person wants to Google
So what is Vastu Shankha?
So Vastu Shankha, when we talk about a shank, It itself is a very, very powerful device. We see it all our god and goddesses' hands holding it. Before
The
starting,
shank, like the one
the shank which we blow,
Sure.
exactly.
Mhm.
So before, as you know, we blow the shanks.
Mhm.
So there's a vibration into it. When we talk about a shank, it cannot be created naturally. By anybody, it can be created only naturally, and it cannot be destroyed
Mhm.
unless we take a hammer and break it down. If you put a shank in the ground for maybe 2000 years, it will not be
Mhm.
in effect. It will be the same
Mhm.
because no termite or no insect or no nothing can destroy. So shank itself is a very powerful device. It has got a lot of energies inside it. When it is placed in a particular place, it starts throwing in the particular energy which is required out of it. Now, our shanks have been treated. We get them from the sea, then they are brought to our Guruji's ashram on the bank of river Ganges. Some treatment is done on top of them. Some energies are filled inside. An ordinary shank is made super powerful by putting some energies inside and some metallic elements inside them. And then a lot of puja, prapadishta and chanting is done on top of it. So then when it is placed in a particular direction, say if north is blocked of a particular person, we put it in the north direction and starts throwing in the magnetic energy which is required from the north. If east is blocked, we put it in the east direction, which it starts throwing in the solar energy. So they come in different powers and different shapes accordingly, depending upon what is the requirement. If the south is open, so one chunk throws energy. When two are placed facing each other, they both are throwing energy and they make an artificial wall. So this blocks the energy. So north and east, we try to open with the shunts, and south and west, we block it using the shunts. We don't advise you need to break things, even if your toilet is in the northeast, your kitchen is in the southwest, you have entry from the south, you have an entry from the west. Everything can be treated with the shunts just by creating, and we create energies with the shunt, we balance energies with the shunt, and we block the energies with the shunt. So we increase the energies as well. So whatever is required, accordingly, we use these devices to maximize the energies.
So now, if you take that example of the energy and house and say you fix it, now let's move to business, for example.
Right.
So here in America, we say that you start a business failed because either your product was not right,
Right.
service was not good,
Right.
or marketing condition was, market was in a bad shape. And there are so many 5, 6, 7
Absolutely.
factors.
Absolutely. Correct.
Your business failed.
Correct.
The restaurants, are very common. They quickly start and
True.
so
Close down as well, yes, yeah.
so in your case, like the way you are explaining, the one of the reasons could be that the
Vastu is not
the
correct.
flow of and the Vastu is not
Absolutely. Yeah.
correct. Okay.
So when we talk about a business,
Mhm.
say we want more money. Of course, business is related to finances and money as well, right? So north, as I was explaining, is for magnetic energy. For things which materialistic things like money, status, our wealth. So the more our north is open, the more our business is facing the north. It could be north, it could be northeast, it could be northwest as well for that matters. But the north angle should be there. So the more magnetic energy is coming into our business. More our south is closed. So if our south is higher and our north is lower as well at the same time, so the energy flows like this, right? It is hitting this wall, and this south, if it's a back, it is rebounding and it's staying inside. But if our south is lower and north is higher, the energy is coming and hitting it. It's not entering inside our house.
So now, if you look in the United States, so most of the houses which are built here, they really don't look at north, south, east.
Correct.
You have a road where is a nice location where the sun is coming, and
Where the sun is coming, that is also important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the houses facing south
Right.
here are considered to be much better,
Right.
because if you look at the planet, India is here, and then America is right here in the bottom.
Right.
So the direction of the south and all is just the opposite of India.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clarify that if somebody has a house here,
Right.
which is really facing south, but here it is considered to be the south facing sun coming to the house. How will you explain that? And I don't want to scare people who own the house facing south.
Don't
here.
worry about getting scared.
Okay.
The good part about US, a house facing south, is like the concept in US is of backyards,
Mhm.
right? So Our front doors, we enter and we just close it, and we don't even look towards the front door usually. We enter through our garages as well. Hardly for a guest we open the front doors. We are mostly towards our backyards. Our kitchen is towards the backyard. Our family rooms are towards the backyard, because that's where all the windows are usually. So if it is a south facing house, obviously our backyard would be towards the north. So then we are getting the maximum energy from that direction into our houses as well, if we keep the south door closed. So that also helps people. A lot of times I've seen, which I deal with over here. So just try to, if a person has a south facing house, he doesn't need to worry. Just keep the main door closed, enter from his garage, and try to have his more openings towards the north, which is his backyard, and they should be all sorted. And that is how they will definitely help them to prosper. Because what we want in South is heavy things. What we want in South is the wealth to come and accumulate. So our lockers, our storage areas, our wealth places, our beds should all be in the South. So initially you spoke about, the sleeping position. When a person dies, we put the head in the north direction. Why? Because they don't require the magnetic energy anymore. Earth is the only planet, which we know of has got life. Why? Because it is the only planet which we know of has magnetic energy inside it. And magnetic energy is the most important to keep our body and our blood cells and the iron which we have inside our blood charged and positive. Why do we sleep? When we get tired, when we get exhausted, when we have no energy left, we sleep to re-energize ourselves. So if we are putting our head in the south and sleeping with our feet towards the north, we're inhaling that maximum positive energy or the magnetic energy inside our body while we are sleeping through our eyes, nose, mouth. And that keeps our body charged and positive. When we do not require the magnetic energy, that means we have no life in our body. We put the head towards the north and we put the feet towards the south.
So now after camera, we're talking about, and two questions I think our viewers and audience will be very much interested. Number one is that, everybody is making so much money and earning, and money is not staying at home. Money, it is gone before it is spent. So, and you said that somehow Vastu can help you with keep the money a little bit longer. So that's one question.
Yes.
And second question is that every parent here complains about their kids not studying too much.
Yes.
So they should be studying more and more.
True.
So you also have a solution for that. So I want to just listen to how to deal with these two situations.
So talking about money issues, as I really said, I've seen in houses, people don't realize they're sitting facing north if they're working, but then they have a mirror behind them as well, which acts like a window. If we have a window in the south and we, even if we keep the curtains open, it is open for me. It literally doesn't mean that you have to open the window. I know it's a cold country. We have so much of cold. Even if the window is open, it is open for us. So if we have more windows in the south or more mirrors in the south or more washrooms in the south, we will have issues of losing a lot of money. As I initially said, we should keep our lockers and we should keep our storages in the south so that we should keep it heavier. The more we keep our south heavy, the more we keep our lockers over there, we will definitely see our money growing. The more we have mirrors and windows, the money will keep on. Like explain, like a glass of water. We pour in, we have a hole at the bottom, the water is going out, or the money is going out. North, money is coming in. South, it is all going out.
As you were talking, I was just counting windows on my house. I have 8 or 9 windows just facing south. So I have to do.
Just try to keep the shears closed at least, and that will help you to accumulate more wealth. Try to at least have your locker wherever you, or just some storage, wherever you're storing your maximum wealth or whatever you're keeping, your checkbooks or your property papers and all those things in the southwest corner of your house facing the north. It have some mirrors in the north direction, so that will help to grow the money as well, instead of having any mirrors in the south direction. So that will help a person.
Okay, kids studying.
So as we were talking about east, east is most important where the sun rises. So more our east is open. If in a kid's room, if we don't have maybe wardrobes or storage area in the east, or we don't have toilets in the east, if we have some galleries in the east, or maybe a doorway to the room into the east, so that will help a person, a child to study. If not, at least if we can put the desk facing the east direction of the child, so that he's sitting facing the east direction, that will also help a person to concentrate far better than facing any other direction. So it's very important that our east, and again, another thing which is important is colors. So if we keep our east color lighter, and similarly in the north, if we keep our color lighter, any light color would do. Instead of doing any kind of dark color, it will really help a person. And if you want to do dark colors, we can always play around in the south or the west direction. We can do dark colors.
And what about plants? Like a lot of people are very fond of having plants inside the house.
What do the plants do? My question to you.
I love plants. I'm a gardener.
No, my question is, what do plants give us? Tell me.
I love the beauty. I like the flowers. I like the leaves. I like the color, greenery. Sometimes they have fragrance. So,
the most important thing which the plants do is they give us oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And, they take out our carbon dioxide.
Mm-hmm.
So we inhale carbon dioxide, we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide.
Mm-hmm.
Plants inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So green plants is definitely a very, very, very good thing to do, because of course, as you said, they look beautiful. The colors are beautiful. The things they're presentable and they enhance beauty of the place. But at the same time, they give us a lot of peace. They give us a lot of oxygen. So we feel at peace when we have plants around us. That is why it's always said, we're talking about green revolution across the globe, we should plant more trees. We should have more, because
Should there be any particular place where the plants would be?
You can have plants anywhere, as long as, they're real plants, because a lot of people do artificial plants.
Yeah.
I avoid, because artificial plants accumulate dust after certain times, and people forget about cleaning them because we don't water them on a daily basis.
Sure.
That increases a lot of negativity into our body. Any kind of allergies and all, people try to have, breathing problems, and, all of these start accumulating if we have artificial plants. So green plants, good thing is we are putting water to them. We're taking care of them like our own babies, so we are nurturing them. So they're giving us the energies back.
So now we talked about health.
Yes.
We talked about wealth. We talked about kids. We talked about a lot of things.
Yes.
One most important thing I want to touch base is also in the house. Love, romance, and family. So how the Vastu plays a role in that?
It is really important for relationships when we talk about it. Again, as I was talking about the East, if we talk about let me give you an example. Let me ask you a question. Say if your bedroom, if we paint it completely black in color, can you live in that room?
No.
If we paint the same room completely red in color, can you live in that room?
Not me, no.
Exactly. Nobody can stay. Why? Because black is the color of dungeons. Red is the color for anger. Right? Of course, if it's for love and all, we can put on some hearts and all, that's okay. But we cannot live in a room which is painted all red all throughout, right? So colors is important. We want to have better relationships, more love, more affection, more happy relationship on the family members. We should have lighter colors in our bedrooms. We should keep our entrances towards the northeast, sleeping position in the right direction. Have proper energies coming inside our houses, inside our bedrooms specifically. Keep our toilet doors closed. When we talk about, we haven't spoken about toilets. What do we do in toilets? We dispose of our body's garbage inside it. Whether we are brushing our teeth, we're taking a shower or taking a dump, we're disposing of our body's garbage inside it, right? So toilet itself is a very negative zone. If we keep the toilet door closed, whatever is there stays inside it, right?
Sure.
That's why all of these houses which we see in our this thing also, the pots usually have a separate door to it.
Yeah.
Even if in a bathroom we have a tub, we have a shower area, but we have a pot which has a separate door to it. Just shut the door at least, So all the negativity stays inside that. So if we have the toilets in the right direction, or we just keep the toilet doors closed, we will have a lot of positivity coming into our relationships, a lot of positivity coming into our, love and, bondings will get stronger. Because eventually, if we are keeping them open, the negative energies keep creeping into our bedrooms. So it's most important.
So, and what is bad from the Vastu point of view in bad relationships, or heading to divorce or conflict all the time, arguing among the spouses?
So that's a good question. What I've seen a lot of times is, I will give you this example about paintings as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I've seen, a few times I've seen, not a lot of times, people have really weird paintings in their bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this lady which I know of, one of my clients. Her husband was shot dead at her work. She was an Indian lady. And what I saw in her bedroom when I went, she had a painting from a very famous artist. I will not take the name, worth millions of dollars of rupees, of a dead body with a stabbed, thing on her ceiling behind her bed back.
Mm-hmm.
We don't put such paintings in our bedrooms. They are good for art galleries, but not for our bedrooms. So it is very important that our bedrooms should be very lively, very, very happy place. We should not have, bad paintings. We should have, ugly pictures. We should definitely have a family picture in the house. That motivates us to have better relationship with our spouses as well. When we see the family, when we see our kids, we want to live for them eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these things matter. We should have mirrors in the right direction. A lot of times, if we have a mirror in the west, it leads to divorces.
Mm-hmm.
If we have, red color things in the west direction, it leads to a lot of serious health issues as well as divorces. Sleeping position is again very, very important. If we are sleeping, a lot of people don't realize but put their heads in the north while sleeping. I've seen in Indian houses a lot of over here. They don't realize. And that leads to either not getting married. Like I was with a client just day before yesterday in LA, and both the kids were 40, almost around 40, and both weren't married. And I went to the houses in the rooms. Both were sleeping with the head towards the north direction. I told her, it's really not good. We should understand that not any other direction.
So when you put your head north, your leg is towards the south, right? Yeah.
That's kind of the death position.
That death position, yeah, exactly. Okay.
So
now I have to ask you myself being a gardener, I have to ask you about the position of garden and water in the garden.
So garden all around is definitely okay, but yeah, maximum garden is an open space. Water is a flowing water. When we talk about it, again, it's an open space. We want more open spaces towards our north, northeast and east direction, because that is where the energies are coming in. We want our closed spaces towards the south, southwest and west, as I said. So the maximum, energies are coming in and they're staying inside ours. So, and we're looking towards those areas as well. If we have a garden in the north, northeast, definitely we'll be spending a lot of time looking at it or, working on it. So we will be staying towards that direction. So that will help us having open spaces in the north, northeast or the east.
Now, your last word about Vastu. Those of our viewers who may not have...
I always tell people you need to try it, to believe it, and it definitely works. It's not a magic. It's a science. So definitely, you need to have faith in it, and you will definitely see wonderful results about it.
Now, but although I have to make one comment is
Yes.
that when it comes to science,
Yes.
there is a data. There is not really faith. And when I mean data, that to really reach a sound conclusion, you have to have a data, thousands of data, thousands of experiments.
Absolutely.
And then only you can reach
Correct.
conclusion.
Absolutely.
So now I think, it seems like, you had that magic wand or magic ideas, more like goddess type of thing.
So I'm no god. I'm like just a follower of gods, and I believe in all gods. I'm like that, and I'm a very scientific person for that matters. Yes, we have these things which have been given to us, like our god, like Guruji, Swami Murugananji, which we follow blindly and which we've seen results. I must have done maybe 10 lakh people across the globe. And, we've got wonderful results always. So yeah, every time if I do something for somebody, when a feedback comes to me, because you did this and we got this results and we are so thankful to you, that keeps me motivated, that keeps me content, and that keeps me, to work more and to help. So my whole idea is to help people. That is what I believe in and, try to follow.
No, excellent. I think, excuse me, you must have been doing some great work because, as I was talking to you off the camera, all these celebrities and all these houses, which is really great, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Just remember that the celebrity I mentioned to you.
I will.
If you reach there, just let me know.
I will. First thing is I will call you, and make you speak to her.
Excellent, good. Thank you so much. It was really pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
And all the best. And I really enjoyed talking to you, and I learned a lot actually. So
Thank you for having me.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.